attention is more important than time. It's an interesting concept, but a really important concept. A lot of us, I feel like, carry around baggage from certain areas of our lives, especially like when you're dealing with work, for example. With work, sometimes you might open one email and get bad news, from that email, and then carry that with you for the rest of the day. Maybe if it's something that you didn't handle right away. So while you might have saved time by not dealing with the task, or whatever fire you had to put out on that email, you might have saved time by, not doing it now and pushing it and procrastinating, but did you save and preserve your attention? And usually the answer is no. And, what that means is if you're going to be, going through your day, halfway thinking about what you're doing and then halfway thinking about whatever negative things happen earlier in your day, then you're sacrificing your attention for your time, which should never be done. What I'm saying is you should value your attention more than your time, because time without attention is meaningless. If we have no attention and we have an hour to spend, what the hell does that hour mean? It means nothing. Now, obviously, you're always going to have a little attention going on in whatever it is you're doing, but it's about finding that balancing point. It's about finding that balancing point where you understand the importance of attention over time. A lot of people follow different means to attach and identify with the present moment more. Identifying with the present moment, I think, is one of the, most important components of living a great life. Being fully immersed in the moment is so powerful. And it's something that so many people, really have trouble with, including myself, because I'm so goal oriented. I'm always thinking in the future, and that rips me away from the present moment. And that's one example of not valuing your attention more than your time. Because while I'm sitting here, making this video, maybe 5 minutes before, I was thinking about something I'm going to be doing a year from now, or something I'm going to be doing a couple months from now, or some, big stretch goal that I have. And, that's great. It's awesome to balance a future, projection with a present moment immersion, but not all the time. They say if you sprint to get somewhere, then you lose all the fun on the path. If you sprint to get somewhere, you lose all the fun on the path, right? Now, a lot of people will have mixed, opinions on this, but if you really think of it, would you rather become successful by smelling the flowers, smelling the roses on your path, or blocking all the fun out and just, continuously working until you literally feel like a slave to your goals? Your goals should be a slave to you. And that's an important shift. And it's something that, people who are extremely goal oriented don't usually get until later in life. They become a slave to their goals, whoever they're trying to impress, whatever financial goal they're trying to reach, whatever house they're trying to buy, keeping up with, whatever Jones's family lives next to them. We live in this rat race, and we almost feel like a slave to the rat race, rather than being in such control of our emotions, our mental state, and our physical health that, our goals actually become a slave of ours. Meaning that we're in such control of the outcome of the milestones on each of our long-term goals. We're so in control of, the mini outcomes on the path that, these goals end up becoming our slave rather than us becoming a slave of our goals. And the way that you can, implement this into your life almost immediately is through, valuing attention over time. There's a lot of, new age kind of thoughts about, how important it is to free your time, to, reduce the amount of time it takes to do your job, to outsource more, right? To use virtual assistants, to hire, people to take over the tasks that you don't necessarily want done in your business. And that's important, right? It's always very important to be doing that. But once you free up your time and once you become automated, quote unquote, what are you going to use? What are you going to do with your additional free time? And that's a question that only you can discover for yourself. Me personally, I just recently, with my job, learned how to reduce, the amount of time it takes to achieve results. And, I basically was able to do a lot of other things outside of my job that I've always dreamed of doing, and now I have the time to do. And, so I filled in my free time with things that excite me. The question is, what are you doing with your free time? Or if you're a procrastinator and you make yourself believe that you're working throughout the whole workday, even though you're just, you're just kind of procrastinating, which is just as hard as hard work. Procrastinating is just as difficult as hard work. I would argue that hard work is easier because it's more fulfilling and it makes you feel better once the hard work is done. So value attention over time and make that mindset shift, because if we don't have attention in any moment, minute, hour, day of our life, then it's almost like that day didn't exist. And if you're living each day like it's your last, believe me, you don't want your last day to be a day you don't remember. Make every day a day you'll remember, because you're so wrapped up in what you're doing. You're so in the moment. Your attention is fully projected into each second of your output and of whatever action you take during that day. So attention is more important than time. All right, I hope that was helpful. Thanks, guys.